Look, the geopolitical map of the world, it is fracturing right in front of us. We are witnessing the sudden, very real descent of a digital iron curtain. It's this terrifying new era defined by strict AI embargoes and just absolutely ruthless corporate warfare. There's honestly no time for pleasantries in this explainer today, because the boundaries of global technology have just been completely redrawn overnight.
I mean, we are talking about the United States and the United Kingdom here. Historically, they're supposed to be the absolute closest of global allies, right? But reality right now is painting a much harsher picture. The UK government desperately begged the White House for a carve-out, basically an exception so they could access Anthropic's banned Fable 5 AI model. They needed this so their tech sector wouldn't just instantly fall behind. And the response from the US? A flat, undeniable access denied.
Okay, let's dive into this, because this specific rejection, it fundamentally changes how we understand the internet. For decades, that US-UK historic alliance meant open diplomatic and technological sharing. But today, we're slammed into the new reality of the digital iron curtain. The US government recently banned both Anthropic's Fable 5 and Mythos 5 models over severe national security concerns. By enforcing this absolute AI embargo, even against the UK, the United States is essentially declaring that maintaining its AI monopoly supersedes even its most trusted geopolitical friendships. There are no exceptions anymore. Which brings us to this new era of AI protectionism. We have got to completely stop thinking about frontier AI as commercial software. It's just not an app or a SaaS product anymore. Governments are now treating these foundation models exactly like military-grade nuclear technology. The stakes of national security have completely taken over, and the superpowers are literally locking their digital vaults. But this raises a massive, urgent question that we really need to unpack. While world governments are busy pulling up the drawbridges and hoarding frontier AI, who exactly is paying the price down in the corporate boardroom? Let's pivot from this macro international embargo to the very real, brutal economic reality hitting businesses right now. Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella just dropped an absolute bombshell of a warning, and honestly, every single business leader needs to take this seriously. He stated, quote, "AI could hollow out entire industries, much like globalization and outsourcing did." I really want you to visualize that for a second. Think back to what happened to manufacturing in the 90s and 2000s. Now imagine your own industry, your own business, being systematically eaten away from the inside out just because you ignored these shifting technological tides. And this brilliantly illustrates the core risk. Nadella is cautioning that if the immense, world-changing benefits of AI remain concentrated among just a few massive foundation models and tech giants, it is going to trigger a devastating speculative bubble. And actually, it gets worse. He warns that this extreme concentration of power and wealth will inevitably force the political system to step in and intervene. It's a powder keg. So how do you survive this impending bubble? Well, right now we are seeing two very distinct corporate strategies. The first is the trap, blind AI cash burn. This is the era of throwing the most expensive AI models at literally every minor problem. It leads directly to what we call AI lock-in. Companies are burning massive amounts of cash on top-tier models for basic tasks, just draining their runways. The second is the survival strategy, cost-efficient model selection. To survive what's coming, you absolutely must meticulously manage your compute costs and track your ROI. The era of blindly adopting tech is over. Strategic cost efficiency is your only real shield against being hollowed out. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how quickly this escalates from economic posturing to outright corporate theft. As the stakes for AI dominance reach an absolute peak, OpenAI aggressively poaches a co-lead of Google's flagship Gemini model. As a result, control of the entire AI stack actively begins to shift. OpenAI isn't just relying on their own internal vision anymore. They are actively stealing the very architects of their rivals' core technology to ensure they do not lose the model wars. And all of this builds into just an incredible irony. Think about it. In 2026, despite all of this hyper-focus on artificial intelligence, elite human talent is the only truly scarce resource. In the race to build the ultimate digital brain, the biological human brains behind the code have become the ultimate ruthless battleground. Because look, when a tech giant like Google loses top talent, they don't just sit back and lick their wounds. No way! They retaliate by aggressively forcing their entire developer ecosystem forward. Today, they launched Antigravity 2.0. They've completely updated their agentic dev stack, featuring a brand new desktop app, a new command line interface, an SDK, and it's all running natively on their Gemini 3.5 Flash model. They are actively weaponizing their developer tools to dominate the landscape. But look at the sheer brutality of this timeline. We move from the legacy era, where the old Gemini CLI was a standard, directly into the agentic shift with the launch of Antigravity 2.0. But here is the real shocker. June 18, 2026, today. Google didn't just give developers a friendly sunset period to, phase out the old Gemini CLI. They instantly killed it. If you are relying on those old tools to run your business, they are physically shattered and rendered obsolete overnight.
So the crucial point here is that the message to the developer community is visceral and unforgiving. Adapt or die. It's basically saying, we are moving to autonomous agents, and if you are not on the new stack today, you are already obsolete. This isn't a gentle nudge, guys. This is exactly how a mega corporation forces ecosystem adoption at a massive scale.
As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a really provocative question to chew on. Is AI truly the new nuclear tech? Is it powerful enough to tear apart historic alliances between nations? And I want you to look really closely at your own business. Is that hollowing out bubble that Nadella warned us about already starting to form in your industry? The digital Iron Curtain has been drawn, the talent war is completely cannibalistic, and the very tools we used to build are shifting under our feet overnight. Stay sharp, manage your compute costs, and whatever you do, don't get hollowed out.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. It really helps the channel grow. See you in the next video.